More than 600 and counting. The Justice Department says almost a third of the 2,000 inmates released through the Good Conduct Time Allowance Law have already surrendered. The rest only have until tomorrow to give themselves up, or they will be brought in, dead or alive. In an interview on Tuesday, the president said he would rather have them dead.
I will just set the timeline, and then the 1 million prize is available to those who can capture them dead or alive. But maybe dead would be a better option. I will pay you smiling. Ibalik ko yan priso, makakain pa yung yan.
Human rights lawyer Edry Olalia says the released convicts cannot be arrested without arrest warrants and that it is illegal for the president to give a shoot-to-kill order.
Kung may warrant ka, may problema eh. Paano pa kaya yung walang warrant? Ang sinasabi natin, ayusin, suportado namin yan. Kailangan mo bang sapilitan, pasukuin at tawagin silang mga pugante, fugitive, under pain of reprisal, even killing, kasi dead or alive.
The Department of Justice earlier said the president's rearrest order is legal based on two decisions of the Supreme Court. But for House Justice Committee Chairman Vicente Veloso, they can only be arrested if the court that convicted them issued warrants of arrest.
So, anong kailangan gawin? Ang sabi ng Supreme Court in Bank, 1967, February 24, dapat pabalikin siya sa kulungan. In whatever manner, obligasyon yan ng husgado.
Amid the GCTA mess, President Duterte ordered to fast-track the release of all inmates 70 years old and up.
70 years old or 75, 70. Hindi na marunong mag-hold up yan, hindi na makatakbo yan. O kung takot ka pa kay serial rapist, ipaputol na lang muna mo dyan sa foundry nila bago palabasin.
But the president believes not all inmates are keen on living bilibid. He said some of them are already so used to the living situation inside the penitentiary that they do not have the slightest idea on how to survive outside its walls.
They have acquired latent homosexuality. Hindi yan sila bakla, pero yun na ang buhay nila doon. Nandoon yung mga lovers nila, kaya ayaw na yang lumabas. Kasi sa labas, wala na rin silang pag-asa sa buhay.
For News 5, Maricel Halili, we are One News.
The Justice and Interior Department's new implementing rules and regulations which automatically disqualify heinous crime convicts from good conduct time allowance remains problematic. That's according to the National Union of People's Lawyers President Edry Olalia. Olalia says this would be a violation of Article 3, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution, which states that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied equal protection of the laws. Some 2,000 convicts freed early under GCTA must not simply be captured, he says. For Olalia, rechecking each convict's records would only be appropriate and will point in the right direction.
Kung nagbago ka na, kailangan mo ba ng presensya nung pinalaya para mag-compute? Hindi mo kailangan. Titingnan mo lang yung karpeta. Titingnan mo lang yung records. Titingnan mo lang yung tama ba? Meron bang katiwalian? May GCTA for sale ba?
The Department of Justice and Department of Interior and Local Government came up with their revised implementing rules and regulations for the GCTA law. The joint review was done partly to settle the debate on the eligibility of heinous crime convicts such as former Calauan Mayor Antonio Sanchez and the Chong sisters killers for early release. The question now, does the new IRR solve all the problems? During an interview with the chiefs here in One News, Justice Undersecretary Mark Perete said heinous crime convicts like Sanchez are only disqualified under the new GCTA law or Republic Act 10592. But they can still avail of the GCTA under the revised penal code. Compared to the GCTA credit provided under the revised penal code, convicts get more credit under RA 10592, from just 5 days per month of credit during the first 2 years in prison for a total of 60 days per year, whereas the GCTA law passed in 2013 would give convicts 20 days per month for a total of 240 days in a year. So what did the revised implementing rules and regulations actually do? Well, first, it clearly disqualified heinous crime convicts from benefiting from the time allowance. Section 2 of the 2013 GCTA law only disqualifies the following: recidivists, habitual delinquents, and escapees. But now the DOJ and BILG are adding persons deprived of liberty or convicted of heinous crimes in its implementing rules and regulations. However, under the revised penal code, no convict is barred from availing GCTA credits. So how come convicts like Sanchez can still avail of GCTA even after the revised IRR disqualified them? DOJ says it is because the revised rules cannot apply to those convicted before 2013 when the new GCTA law was passed. This is part of an ex post facto rule in court, which refers to a law that retroactively alters a defendant's rights by increasing the punishment for a crime from the punishment imposed at the time the crime was committed. In Sanchez's case, the court sentenced him to reclusion perpetua or life imprisonment, but a steeper penalty would be to deny Sanchez of availing GCTA because he committed a heinous crime. Last July, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of inmates and made the implementation of the GCTA law retroactive as part of the reformative or restorative aspect. But House Justice Committee Chairman Vicente Veloso says the law's implementation should be prospective, as he claims this was the intention of the GCTA law. Other lawmakers also questioned the DOJ and the BILG's revised IRR, saying it was not enough to address the issue. In the end, even the DOJ and the DILG admit we may still have to confront the question of whether or not to revise the GCTA law entirely.